The morning dew sparkled on the forest leaves as the sun slowly rose behind the hills. Birds stretched their wings and filled the air with joyful songs. Monkeys chattered and swung from tree to tree. Antelopes raced across the meadow, their hooves drumming softly against the grass. And on the quiet forest path, a small tortoise named Zola trudged along, slow and silent. His short legs moved with effort, his shell heavy upon his back. He watched the other animals with longing in his eyes. He had grown tired of always being the last to arrive, the one others had to wait for, the one who never won a race. One morning, as Zola climbed a small hill, a group of young animals ran past him laughing. "Hey, slow walker!" shouted a rabbit. "Do you ever get anywhere before sunset?" The monkeys laughed. "Maybe if we give you a push, you'll reach tomorrow faster." Their laughter echoed through the trees, leaving Zola's heart heavy. He looked at his reflection in a puddle and whispered, "Why did God make me like this? Why give me a body that can't keep up? What use am I in this fast world?" That night, while other animals slept, Zola stayed awake, staring at the stars. He wished he could trade his shell for wings or strong legs. He wished he could be someone, anyone else. The next morning, while resting near the river, Zola noticed something unusual. A group of birds fluttering anxiously near the bank. One of them had fallen into the water. The current was strong, and the poor bird flapped helplessly, unable to escape. The other birds circled above, crying out for help, but none could dive deep enough to reach their friend. Without hesitation, Zola slid into the water. His heavy shell, which he had always hated, kept him balanced against the rushing current. He paddled slowly but firmly toward the struggling bird. Reaching it, he lifted the trembling creature onto his shell and carried it safely back to the shore. The rescued bird coughed and shook off the water and looked at Zola with gratitude. "You saved me. I thought I was gone. How can I ever thank you?" Zola smiled gently. "You don't have to. I'm just glad you're safe." The bird nodded. "You're not slow, Zola. You're steady and strong. Maybe God made you this way for moments like this." Zola didn't answer, but those words echoed in his heart for days. A week later, a terrible drought struck the forest. The river dried up, and the animals had to travel far to find water. The strong ones, like the gazelles and zebras, could run long distances, but the smaller creatures, rabbits, squirrels, hedgehogs, struggled to keep up. The journey to the next waterhole was long and dangerous, across rocky ground and scorching sun. Many animals grew weak and hopeless. Zola wanted to help, but he doubted himself. Then he remembered the day he saved the bird. Maybe his strength wasn't in speed, but in endurance. He gathered the smaller animals and said, "Climb onto my shell. I will carry you as far as I can. I may be slow, but I never stop." At first, they hesitated. Could the slow tortoise really help them? But when they saw the kindness in his eyes, they trusted him. Step by step, Zola began the long journey. The sun blazed overhead, and the ground burned beneath him, but he didn't give up. He carried the weak animals on his shell and whispered with every step, "I may be slow, but I'll keep moving." Along the way, fast animals ran ahead, but the heat soon forced them to rest. Zola kept going, steady, calm, and faithful. By the time he reached the new water source, the animals on his shell cheered with joy. They slid off his shell and rushed to drink. The birds flew overhead, singing Zola's name. Even the antelopes who had arrived earlier bowed their heads in respect. The rabbit from before stepped forward, ashamed. "Zola, I'm sorry for laughing at you. You are stronger than all of us." Zola smiled. "We all have our gifts. Some are fast, some can fly. Mine is to keep going when things get hard." The wise old owl, who had watched everything from above, landed beside him and said, "In the forest of life, speed doesn't matter as much as purpose. Every creature is made perfectly for something. You, Zola, have shown us that what we see as weakness can be our greatest strength." Zola looked up at the sky, his heart at peace. The stars began to shine again, just like the night he once questioned God. But this time, he didn't feel sad. He whispered softly, "Thank you, God, for making me the way I am. I understand now." From that day, no one in the forest called him slow ever again. They called him Zola the Faithful, the one who carried others when they were weak, the one who never gave up, the one whose kindness was stronger than speed. And whenever new animals arrived in the forest, feeling jealous or unsure of themselves, the old owl would tell them, "Do not envy another creature's gift. The tortoise once did, and learned that every creation has a purpose under the sky." Moral lesson: be proud of who you are, because God has a purpose for creating you the way you are. Sometimes, what you see as a weakness is exactly what makes you strong. Zola's strength was not in speed, but in patience, kindness, and the courage to keep moving when others gave up.
Thank you for watching Generational Animation, where every story carries a lesson and every voice echoes through time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because the next tale might just change how you see the world of animals. See you in our next story.